Slave labor right there. That's why I had kids. She lost the coin toss or whatever they did. I'm not sure. Today's episode, guys, we are going to take this little Sony lens. It's 16 to 50 E-mount, $100, cheapest thing you can get. And we're going to film today's episode on this lens. Whew. Good day, everybody. It is snowing / freezing rain right now. The woods are absolutely beautiful. The trees all have a nice coating of snow on them. So we're gonna take a walk today because I wanna try something different. We've got our A7R4 still camera right here, which is what I'm filming on. And that's a $4,000 camera, and what have I done? I've stuck a $100 lens on it. It's the Sony 16 to 50 f3.5 to 5.6. It's a $100 lens. You can buy this thing new for $100. And what I noticed is that the Sony A7R4 has great stabilization, or better than any of my other Sony cameras up to this point. So we're gonna take a walk and we're gonna vlog with this today. I can't see myself, but the autofocus tracking is so good that I should be in focus, I'm hoping 90% of the time. We're gonna take it, we're gonna try it. Let's go check out the beautiful woods, take Gage for a walk through the trail. We've got to leave the snow machine because it is completely dead. I'm getting a TPS sensor error. So that's the throttle position sensor error, and the machine will not run. I feel so inadequate right now. Not my finest day, choking on Tom's two-stroke fumes. All right, thanks, Tom.
No problem. Is this good enough here?
No, I want you to put it on the trailer. Not to mention that it's 0 degrees, so we're kind of sinking down even in the trail that I did take the snow machine on. Very soft, but beautiful out here. So I also want to look for some opportunities just to take some photos with this lens because, like I say, it is such a cheap lens that it never gets used, right? I don't take it out, and I thought maybe for filming it would be good, but what about photos? Let's take some photos. And to be honest, guys, I'm a lens snob, as you guys know, right? When you own $50,000 worth of photography gear, you've shot 300 weddings, you do all these things, you're never gonna look at a $100 lens. But this lens, I bought it for doing video on my A6600, and the stabilization is so bad on that camera that I just stopped using it. I tried it a couple times, and it was just okay. Because the lens is stabilized, but I don't think it was really working in tandem with that 6600. I think it is working. The stabilized lens and the body of the A7R4 are working together. So that's why we're gonna try it for video again, but I'm also gonna take some photos. And we'll maybe zoom in and look at them on the computer because I wanna see how bad is a $100 lens when you pair it on a $4,000 camera. I don't know. Nobody else is gonna do that for you. All right, we'll take a photo of this little icicle hanging here as well. Kind of dark, but I'll show you guys, this lens is actually, it's got a power zoom on it as well. Come on, go play. I can't zoom in if you're right there. I guess we can. Go on. Look at how pretty the woods are. So the only downfall with using this system is I can't see myself, and I have to trust the autofocus system on this camera because there's no flippy lens on the A7R4. But I do trust the autofocus. It is very good. So I'll know when I get back on the computer, you know, it should have eye tracking on my eye. Is it working? I don't know. If it isn't, you guys won't see this video because that's what happens. I do a lot of testing and things don't work out and we don't use the footage. I actually have a handle for this camera which would allow us to plug in and use a remote switch for zooming in and out with this lens. So I'm going to do a quick test and see if we actually can hear the lens when we use the power zoom. Do we hear it zooming in and out? I don't think we do. For $100, this lens is actually impressing me. Maybe not the smoothest zoomer. But it is fairly quiet. I'm finding it more and more difficult this time of year to make videos for you guys because it's just so cold and the weather is not conducive for filming. It's wet, it's sloppy, it's either raining or freezing rain, which is weird for, you know, this time of year. It should be just snow, but we've had so much rain this year, it's crazy. And like I say, right now, I'm not even wearing any gloves, right? It's 0 degrees, somewhere around there. So it's very hard for me to continue making films for you guys because I find it hard to be inspired to get out here. Like, I just don't have a story to tell. So, you know, today's story was, hey, let's check out this lens, which gives me a purpose, gives me something to do. So bear with me until nicer weather in the spring, guys, and we can start metal detecting and all of that stuff again. I have been trying to get friends on board, other investigators. I want to do some paranormal stuff. My buddy Doug is into that, but he never has time. And then everyone else, they don't want to touch that with a 10-foot pole, right? They think you're crazy. Like, if I actually put up a couple of Facebook posts to my friends only, you know, a couple hundred people said, hey, does anybody know of a haunted location or haunted stories they want to share or places we want to go check out? Not one person got back to me online, but I did see at Ty's hockey game the other day, Tom's mother-in-law, Lise, who is awesome, she came up and punched me in the arm and said, hey, I'll go with you. If you can find a haunted place, she's like, I'll go with you. And I'm like, yeah, right, that's all I need is a 70-year-old woman to have a heart attack out paranormal investigating with Gary. But at least she said she would go. So I'm kind of also at my wit's end with the whole YouTube algorithm, and like my channels have just bottomed out. We're not growing. I find it hard to get 500 views on a video. And it's depressing as a filmmaker, as a person who's got to come up with 2,000 stories over 10 years, you know, to entertain people and find things to do. There's just, it's very easy to look at it as we failed. Or I failed, because there is no we. It's me and Gage, right? So, and we all know Gage is not failing at this. Half the people that come to the channel are here to watch Gage. So, shout out to my buddy who is now eating some kind of poop, I'm presuming, down there on the trail, because that's his favorite treat. Dude, get out of there. Yeah, come and give me a big kiss. No, no, no. So Grant has in fact actually stopped putting up videos on his channel. Everyone I know, there are about 5 people that I know personally that are doing various channels on YouTube. And, you know, Wild Yam, myself, my buddy Jeremy does an outdoor survival channel. We're all in the same range, you know, 30 to 40,000 subscribers. And we have all noticed the same thing, that our channels have just stopped growing. We don't get recommended from YouTube. And I actually lose more subscribers than I make these days. I put up a video, I lose 3 or 4. And it doesn't matter which kind of video I put up, whether it's paranormal, the murder series that we were doing. I lost subscribers on each one of those. I lose subscribers if I put up something funny, if I put up snowmobiling, if I put up a gaming video, it doesn't matter. So I question whether these subscribers are really even there. You know, are they real people? Why would you subscribe to a channel and we're putting up the same content 3 times a week and the people just are leaving in droves? So, you know, it's hard not to take that personally. For the 200 of you guys that I know are here commenting all the time, and I could say names, those, you know, the 20 of you guys that support us through PayPal every month. I love you guys, appreciate you guys. That is why I don't want to stop making videos, because even if there's 200 of you, then I feel like I've still got an audience, people I can talk to, comments I can read, you know. But it's very disheartening to just feel, to know that YouTube just doesn't care, just throws their ads on us willy-nilly, as many as they can, make as much as they can off of us, and do nothing to promote us. It's very frustrating, and I fight it every day. When I pick up the camera, it's a chore for me to say, I am not going to quit. After a decade on YouTube, I am not going to quit. But winter really tests that resolve, guys, really does. The other nice thing about using this APS-C $100 lens is I don't care. It's getting wet right now. And I don't really care. If it dies, yeah, that would suck. I don't like wasting money, but I'm not as hypersensitive about a $1,000 or $1,500 lens getting rained on, you know? So, and the nice thing too is it's wide. It's actually 24 millimeters wide. All of my other E-mount lenses that I've bought are 28 millimeters or 35, and they're not great for vlogging. So I may in the future, guys, start using this little, I think I need to take, I've got the big camera strap hanging off this camera and no handle, so I'm hanging onto the camera like that. It's very hard to vlog like that for any amount of time. So I should have been smarter. I should have removed the neck strap. I should have removed this, and I should have put the handle with the remote control for zoom, power on, power off, all that on a handle, a grip, a pistol grip. That's what I should have been doing today to try this out. I have to say that when I stop and take photos, I just took one behind me here, and I look on the screen, they look pretty sharp. They look, and I'm not even stopping down to f8, where you would normally take landscape photos. I'm shooting wide open here, f3.5, because I just want to see what is the sharpness of this lens. And on the back of the camera, it looks pretty good. Maybe I need to stop being such a lens snob and start using the $100. You know, you could buy 3 of these and have a backup and a backup. So when you travel somewhere that I'm worried about my camera getting stolen, like when Hannah and I went to Holland this year, I never even thought of bringing this lens. But that would be no big deal if somebody, you know, all of my other lenses are a minimum $500, guys, right up to $1,500 a lens. So if this thing will do the trick, this maybe is the one you have to start traveling with in countries that are not so reputable. Would I buy this little lens just to shoot photographs? No, I wouldn't. But you can. I would buy it. I think it's much more beneficial for the video features that it offers. 24 millimeters wide, power zoom, inexpensive, small, light, all of that stuff. Cheap to replace. And that's about it. There are, there's not much else to say about it. Well, there is actually something. As soon as I was saying that, it is a Sony rated lens. So that means you have full benefits of the best autofocus tracking you can get. It's not going to be dumbed down by Sony. The amount of shots that you can take in super burst mode, full, if your camera does 30 frames, it'll still do 30 frames. Not that you'd want to use this lens for any of those sporting events or things like that, because it's not made for that. But so there are other benefits. Because it is Sony branded, it allows full Sony functionality with the camera, is where I'm going with that. Another advantage of this little lens is precisely that. It is little. It's about that wide, and it doesn't weigh anything, probably 250 grams. So it makes a perfect travel lens. I can tell the zoom is not the smoothest thing. It's a little clunky. And looking at the footage on the back of the camera also, when I'm walking, it's still a little bit jerky. But for $100, guys, this might be the perfect little travel kit lens to go on a much more expensive camera. I know that goes against everything we're ever taught, right? Don't buy an expensive camera and put crappy lenses on it. But I don't think it's that crappy, to be honest. I think it's doing a better job than it gets credit for. Oh, more so than anybody, Mr. Gage makes sure that I get my exercise. There are many days in the winter where I just look outside and I say, oh, I don't want to go. But then he's standing there looking at the bird feeder, growling at the squirrels, and not getting any exercise, and I feel bad, so away we go. Come here, buddy. Say goodbye to everybody. Oh, settle down. It's like trying to lasso an eel. You'll never get him to sit still for a goodbye moment. We'll catch you guys in the next video. Ah, he licked me right there, and I forgot he was eating rabbit poop or something earlier.